Beneath the surface lies a kingdom, dark and decrepit, full of discarded creatures. On its throne sits the Red King. Your job, serve those on the surface and make your king rich. Fail, and it will be the last thing you do.
Be a rat and sew dresses in the sewer where you belong, you filth. That is the premise of a game that I'm making with a friend. The game is called Sewer Sower, a multiplayer couch co-op designed after Overcooked, but made for all you goblins and trolls out there. This isn't my usual devlog update, so how did we get here? Bibbidi-bap-boop-bow. I've been really sad and demotivated the past few weeks working on games by myself. I made a big farming update to my game Ewe Shall Not Pass before Steam's Farming Fest this May, and that left me drained and a little directionless, so I decided to mix up the workflow and work with a friend. For 2 weeks, he helped me untangle some mechanical issues, and I helped him with his game, Shadago, where you play as a dog skateboarding through the city. I did some other stuff like swimming in a big competition and working on a farm, running a local playtesting event, and I'm getting off track. Then my friend and I decided to return to a shared project we made last October and spent a few days beefing it up. So basically, I took a pause on Ewe Shall Not Pass in an attempt to find happiness again. Was it successful? Hard to say. I would like to do one more big update to Ewe Shall Not Pass before the end of the month. We'll see if it happens. But this video is about that game I was working on with a friend called Sewer Sower. Sewer Sower was born from a local Chicago game jam called Chicago, which was run by Indie City Games and sponsored by Dread XP. And it was a 2-week game jam where developers were encouraged to make a horror or spooky game to celebrate the spooky season. In the game, you and your friends play as rats in the sewer, sewing garments for the princesses on the surface, or just your royal clientele on the surface. So in gameplay, there are different stations required to make a dress. Station 1 is a fishing rod, where you have to catch a fish. Once you catch a fish, you bring it to Station 2, where you feed the spider. Once the spider is fed, it will generate a spool of spider silk. You can take that then to Station 3, where you weave the silk into fabric, and then you take that to Station 4, which is the sewing machine, where you make your dress, and finally you take that dress to Station 5, where you deliver it to the people on the surface via a little rowboat. And speaking of the surface, that is where your orders will appear. You'll see your customers line up at the top of the screen, tapping their foot impatiently while they wait for their dresses. And if you don't complete all the orders in the time allotted, you disappoint the Rat King, and you lose your head and you start again. In the harder levels, you have to avoid some little environmental hazards like the crocodile and the bat swarms, which will steal your belongings if you get hit. And that was the state of Sewer Sower last October. Me and my friend wanted to revisit it and see if we could prepare it to be scaled up into a larger game, build the foundation for it to grow more. And we identified one major thing that had to change, and that was order variability. In the version last year, all the orders were the exact same. Everyone ordered a white dress, and making that dress was basically an assembly line. We were just making a game about an assembly line. And as fun as that could be, it could be better. It could be better. And so for a game about fulfilling orders, the chaos was pretty tame. You know in Overcooked when you're just like, someone cut the tomatoes! The dishes need doing! You know, there's like a lot of... It's hard to get in a rhythm because the rhythm changes based on the orders. And we wanted to do the same. We wanted to make it more painful for players like you, so that you and your friends could have a common enemy to rally behind. There's nothing like the bonding between friends over shared suffering. So that's where we come in. So to add variability, we had to basically make it so people could order different things. We were like, this is going to be so easy. Give us 2 days and it'll be done. Alas, that is very rarely the case. It was not easy, and overhauling our order system was the big challenge of the week. But it's mostly working. Mostly. For some reason, it still doesn't work with red dresses. I couldn't tell you why. We don't know why it is only that color. We'll be exploring that, but it's mostly working. The goal of this update is to force players to have to communicate even more and change up their workflows as the different orders demand different things. To do this, we needed to add a few things. New station, number 1. The chemical vats. Sacrifice different insects inside, and the vats will fill with pigment that you can use to dye anything made of spider silk. Those colors include red, green, and yellow, and once you dye something, it will absorb that pigment, and the chemical vat will return to a bleach state that would dye anything white. Station number 2, the overflow. As sewage pours out of this station, bugs caught in the current will fall with it and spill out into the map. This is where you will collect your victims to be sacrificed to make pretty colors for your pretty dresses for the people up top. Station kind of 3, really 2.5. Station 2.5, the net. We added a new hotkey that allows you to pull out your net. Pressing the net button will just pull out your net and put it back. When you pull out your net, you have to move your character around to try to catch the insects that fall, and once you've caught one that is the color that you want, you sheathe your net, the bug goes in your backpack, you can walk over to the chemical vat, bam! Sacrificed. And you now have a dye vat full of rich, lovely colors. If you don't like the bug you caught, you can just shake it out until you catch a good one. So those 2.5 additional new stations / mechanics are what make up our Region 2. So in Region 2, your clientele will start ordering up above, and they might ask, ooh, I want a white dress, ooh, I want a green dress, I want a yellow dress, I want a red dress. And you will have to dye the vats different colors, maybe circumvent the vats entirely. So there's a little bit of variability. We're getting there. The nice thing about this one is it can be scaled if we add other things. Dyeing cloth just felt like an important part of making this game a bit bigger so that it could be scaled into a lot of different ways. But we wanted more. We want more style. We want more glam. We want more pizzazz. We wanted to destroy the relationships of those who play the game. Introducing Region 3. Now, not only will orders be different colors, they will also have different ornamentation. Introducing ribbons. 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 Some orders will now request ribbons of different colors to accompany their dresses. Red dress, no ribbon. White dress, green ribbon. Yellow dress, red ribbon. Let's go. The options are endless. Okay, not endless. There are a finite number of potential orders, I think about 20. That's still a lot of options. Woo! To add this new crazy mechanic of ribbons, we had to add 2 new stations. Station 1, the cutting station. At this station, your character will cut up the fabric into ribbons. Oh, great, love, stan. And when I say ribbons, it looks like a bow, is how I drew it for the game. So bows, really. The cutting station, you make ribbons and you tie it into bows, and you have these lovely, huge, gorgantic, that's not a word, bows. Once created, you take it to the next station. Station number 2, the mannequin. The mannequin is basically your go-to station to assemble your final product. So this was a necessary station if we wanted to add any kind of assembly to our game. At the mannequin, you drop off whatever you want. If you have anything in your backpack that can go on the mannequin, you drop it off. And when it looks like what you want it to, there's another new dedicated button to take stuff off the mannequin, and it'll like be all assembled. So once you've made your ribbon / bow, you take it to the mannequin, drop it off, go make your dress, bring it to the mannequin, put it on, you have your dress with your bow, then you take it all off, and now you got a dress with a bow in your backpack. Bam, check. Once combined, you whisk it over to the boat and deliver it as usual, where we will check color and ornamentation against the orders up above. If it's good, that customer will be like, woo, and move on. If it's not, you just wasted a mother truckin' order, you fool. It won't fulfill any orders. So with that, Region 2 and Region 3, we now have 3 regions and 9 stations and 20 different order possibilities, and hopefully the foundation for a game that can continue to grow and scale up so that we can create new regions and new mechanics and new designs and hopefully an overall fun and challenging experience for the people that play it. So that is this update on Ewe Soa. That's what I've been working on for a week. So even though your boy has been in his sad boy era, it's been nice to have a project to pour all that sadness and rot into for you guys to enjoy is the goal. And also, it's just nice to have that personally as a project, so that I can share all my suffering with you. I'm hoping to have an update on Ewe Shall Not Pass if I can stay sane and get my ish together before the end of the month, because come June, my routines will be changing and I might not be able to work on Ewe Shall Not Pass for most of the summer. So we'll see. We are taking it day by day. You got this. I got this. We're all kind of in this together. Rising tide lifts all ships. If you haven't already, I would so appreciate a like and a comment. It really bolsters my will to live, and as a small creator, it does so much for me. I love the feedback, good or bad. It's a nice way to make this a collaborative experience with you guys. Making games and making games by myself, some of the best collaboration I get is when you guys leave comments and give me feedback. Again, good, bad. It's all feedback and it's all very valuable to me. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're playing some fun games. Until I see you next, happy gaming. Bye.